Hey everyone, Kurt Bruner here. Thanks for listening to this brief overview about Rekindled at Home, which is a new Home Point campaign we're launching in the month of February at Lake Pointe Chruch. We're very excited about this campaign because we get to zero in again on marriage as we've done in the past. Let me start by talking about some results of the last appraisal we did. As you know, we every 120 days encourage people to take an assessment and appraisal of how they're doing being intentional so that they can think through how to become more intentional in the coming 120 days. But at least once a year, we collect that data. And last year, we got about 2,000 who turned these in, assessing themselves on marriage, faith at home for parents and grandparents, single adults, how they're doing thinking through these issues and moving forward. Well, I want to zero in on a couple of results from last year's appraisal as it relates to marriage because it's important for the campaign we're about to launch. First of all, one question is, I believe my marriage will last until one of us dies, and people rate themselves in terms of confidence. And as you can see on the left side there, very high confidence, about 60% of those who responded said, I believe my marriage will last until one of us dies, which is good news. But then on the right side, the other question is, I believe my marriage is for the most part God-honoring and happy. And as you can see, only 35% put themselves in that same category, and then it plays out from there. Now, why this is important is because Christian marriage is not just about grin and bear it, we don't divorce because it's not good for the kids or because it's wrong or whatever it may be. Christian marriage is about creating a picture of the gospel, a God-honoring marriage and a happy marriage that brings about the joy that it's intended and reflects what the Lord intends. So what we want to do is help people move from simply permanent marriage, which is a good thing, to really a God-honoring and happy marriage. And so this campaign is going to work toward that end. Let me give you a few key dates and then show you some of what's going to happen. From February 11th through March 4th, we have a sermon series running 4 weeks on marriage, which we're excited about to really highlight this and make it a key priority for the church. During that window of time, we're asking our life group teachers and leaders to do something on the weekend of February 18th and 19th, and then alternatively February 25th and 26th. And here's what we want. Just 2 simple things, should only take about 5 minutes in the class time. First, we want them to distribute the Rekindled at Home kit to all married couples as a gift from the church to help them be intentional. I'll explain that more in a moment. Secondly, we want them to actually take 3 minutes in the class and do the annual appraisal that I just showed you for all the attendees, whether married, single, parents, or not. And the reason is that's the data we collect as a church to help us know how we're doing being intentional. What we'd like to do for those who indicate they want this, we would like to then provide back to the teachers, in addition to the global picture of how we're doing as a church, narrow it down to here's how your class is doing being intentional in these areas, which can help you minister more effectively there. So February 18th and 19th, our goal is to have those kits in the classroom. I'll talk about that more. And then the 25th, 26th to reinforce it for those who may not have had a chance to do it the earlier week. March 3rd and 4th is the final sermon in this series. It'll be called Rekindled. And for those who have not received them yet, we're going to make that kit available to the rest of the congregation who were not part of a life group. Now, I mentioned the kit. Here it is, Rekindled at Home. It'll be an envelope, very easy to distribute. Everything's inside the envelope. There'll be a letter from Home Point. There'll be some date night ideas I'll talk about, a free audio CD, 2 of the appraisals so that they can take those appraisals and turn them in. Let me start with the letter. The letter simply is a letter from me inviting them to become intentional over the next 120 days about their marriage, doing 3 things. Have regular date nights. We've given you some ideas for that. Listen to the audio podcast to inspire and reawaken your understanding of the purpose of marriage. And then to try the re-engage ministry, which we're launching in February as well. We're very excited about that, and I'll talk more in a minute. Okay, there will be 8 recipe cards for date nights in this kit. One's titled Realign, another Remember, another Respark, etc. And these are simply a little sheet of paper that they can take with them on a date night, whether that's a coffee date night or dinner out or whatever it may be, so that they can have meaningful dialogue about the relationship. All right, so often we go off on dates and haven't thought things through and we don't really talk about anything. This is really to help them refocus on the relationship in ways that are meaningful. So there'll be 8 different ideas, and those will all be in that kit. We'll also have, as I mentioned, an audio CD. The first track on this CD is short, but very powerful because it's a 9-minute overview. It's actually a testimony from one couple that went through the re-engage ministry process and had powerful impact in their lives. So that's a way of kind of inviting people to, hey, taste test and try out this re-engage ministry, which we think will really have an impact in your relationship. And the other 2 tracks really about the purpose of marriage and the mystery of marriage and how we create our marriages, turn our marriages into a masterpiece that it's intended to be. As I said, the appraisal documents will be in the kit. On that weekend when the life group teachers distribute them, we'd like them to ask people to take their 2 appraisals out, one for the husband, one for the wife, have them fill it out and turn it in. But also they're in the kit also so that when those who were not part of a life group or did not get time to do it, it's with them, they can do it easily and then turn it into the Home Point Center information booth or wherever they are able to turn it in. There will be a card inside the kit also highlighting the Re-Engage Ministry that's launching. As I said, that'll begin February 28th on Tuesday evenings. We're going to highlight that as a way of, again, encouraging people to take that extra step. So again, real simply, we're going to distribute a kit. There's a sermon series. The life group leaders are going to invite people to become more intentional. They're going to give them that kit gift in order to help them do that. They're going to invite them to take the appraisal. And then also the kit's going to point people towards Re-Engage as a ministry. And all of this, of course, is intended to just make it easy and make it more likely that our couples will create a God-honoring marriage. So we're very excited about the Rekindled at Home campaign that's coming up. Thank you for your partnership in this. Whether you're a host who helps us in the Home Point Center, whether you're a teacher or a leader who's trying to create a culture of intentional families, we really appreciate your partnership and look forward to making this a successful campaign.